This day 721 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you like to answer upcoming Shemar of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please kindly directly, very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Tuf Mem Science Sif Lam Gimel through Mem. Okosav. We'll talk about the Ramah. Yeah. The Chavetz Yain should dove go in the sorbet, but like if you have a jug of wine or a barrel of wine where the planks have been glued with dough. If it's within 2 months, if it has been glued within 2 months of Pesach, Adayin Rachu, it's still soft, and time of Pesach, it gives a taste. On Pesach, also you can't drink the wine inside. You put it there before 2 months. Dried up. It's not giving a taste. The shine is permitted. But if there's a kazais of dough in one place, we have to eradicate that kazais. Even though it's only there in order to strengthen the planks, nevertheless you have to remove it. End quote from the Ramah. Shir said the Shnei Chadashim, this year of 2 months, avocado b'sham the bediku yoros, even though there in the source we can tell you about where you glue 2 papers together, and there 30 days is enough. In terms of the taste disappearing, so Shnei Chadashim need 2 months. It's not like the one who argues. The woman says the daigam kam. So here also 30 days suffice. Yaakov, not like the Taz. Besides, it's not comparable at all. The Shah made there's nothing which is going to moisten it and potentially bring out the taste. As opposed to here, the wine makes it moist. It's not going to get dry so fast. The truth is that here also says the share is really 30 days. It's different. It depends from when you measure it. It's 30 days that it takes until it stops absorbing moisture, and then 30 days to dry. That which Ramah writes, you can't drink the wine, but you're allowed to leave it around. Even though the wine is absorbing this nevertheless, it's not no sintam more than mashu, and it's hardened chametz. In chametz where the leavening process was arrested, I guess, when it was put between the planks. Not sure exactly why. It's not chametz gomer. The Shibura says to the Shibura, this is more lenient here. It says you can keep the barrel. Well, no, actually, it's not more lenient. It says to keep the barrel around. It's okay as long as 3 days have passed. Shratzion writes that the Prima Ganim says even if it's within 30 days, you'll have to leave the barrel. Just don't have anything to do with it on Pesach. Says Arukh HaShulchan further, the fact that we answer here, taking the wine, it's not right. The chametz luksha answers no matter how little. The shani hachid seven do also lechatchila here doing something deliberately. Was machmir lechatchila. Mashing chametz luksha is opposed to the hardened chametz, no baltavshil, which falls into a cooked dish. Ain't no somebody that's in his dam. Itaka doesn't answer only if it gives a taste. Even though it's chametz in one place in the barrel, if you cover it up with pitch, you don't have to destroy the chametz underneath. Much have the sham has been there. All these are madregas in the but for sure you can't glue the planks of a barrel with dough. Feels my heart because basically even a long time before Pesach. That is the widespread minhag, not to use dough as the glue. And the shadows you should not deviate from that widespread minhag. Lamda melach shishlama memducha shel chametz. You put salt in a press of chametz. Veloni dochbo melach. But you just put it there. Sorry, you just put it there, and you didn't actually use it to crush the salt. Mutim melach ba basar pesach. You use that salt to salt meat on Pesach. Mishum deina maflit b'tzonim biyavish. It doesn't give off taste. Doesn't draw taste from the walls of the press if it's cold and dry. In these barbie or they have that chil ainly tainted cholav melach hanasum b'kosher basar. We learned that it's the classic not by not. Not supposed to put into milk salt which had been in a fleshy plate. Nevertheless, in this pit, in this this press, mutter it's permissible even to do it deliberately. Because come to Shalom, it goes out saying it's in our presses. It's certainly mutter. We don't use comments in them. Nevertheless, the if the press even was used to crush the salt, also Pesach can't use the salt on Pesach. Because of the press of the pestle, it's usually the press is a mortar and a pestle. So because the press of the pestle, but has comments the wall. I don't know if it definitely, but it can absorb a little comments. The Pesach, if it was pounding for Pesach, we can now in our presses. Maybe we should just go mortars, but the idea is the same. There's only a suspicion of mashu. It's Pesach anyway. It's negated before Pesach. Also, just don't use any common stick of kalim to pound to crush salt for Pesach. Can I make pasha in the showers, and that is the widespread minhag. Don't deviate from it. Mishwar is right that if you know that the press was dirty, then according to several places, the milk salt is also, even if you crush it before Pesach. A rabbi says that before Pesach is submitted, even if the vessel was not clean, because since it's pounded, since you keep pounding stuff, I guess, before all the time, whatever little comments there is butter and all in the salt which is there, and it's butter before Pesach, so it's okay. Lamadei, boser, vino novim, unripe fruit, which is like grapes, or shar pears, or other types of fruit. Shalon is bashul, which have not been become ripe. Shesh ben kua, but they have a sharp taste to them. Shadochin kohen pesach mduchas mikumatzos, and evidently they pound them before Pesach in chametz presses. Mutar Pesach, the idea in Pesach, which is in maflik betzonen yavish the because it doesn't draw out flavor when it's cold and dry. And as long as the press themselves were clean. Shibur says we assume that was clean. We don't know otherwise. Both of this unripe food is like a sharp substance, and therefore we have special power to take out the taste from the walls. That's all the Ramah still speaking. Then in terms of room and taste from the walls of the mortar. In a press in which the chametz is, which uses very little, the Kohen Pesach ain't chashash mashu. And for Pesach, there's only a chashash of mashu. It's about Kohen Pesach. It's not by for Pesach. Because Rabbeinu Ramah, Zayin. Oh no, that wasn't the Ramah till now. That was the Arukh HaShulchan speaking. Now the Ramah speaks. Because Rabbeinu Ramah, Zayin. Even if it's within Pesach, it doesn't become usher if the vessel is clean. Okay. V'tema is astonishing. The behemoth smashed place in the place of the b'charif. Why? Usher is sharp. When he died, couldn't Pesach shoga. Okay, maybe for Pesach it should be lenient. Can be lenient. Pesach got small. Pesach the charifus. There's sharpness. V'duka the sakina. And also there's the press of the knife. Eich efshar. How can we permit this? Even if it wasn't sharp by the pressure of the knife, which is a little bit moist, it can move something. He's not clear exactly how to respond to this. So the Shabura says, according to the Yoreh there, that even sour fruit is the charif, so that would include both. Same question. So if that, since it's charif and there's also the pressure of the knife or of the pestle, pestle, it should be the sour fruit gets the fermentation of the press, um, and it doesn't have enough substance to cancel the press, its contents, or to negate it. Therefore, even for Pesach, should be machmir. When you say Mokum have some rube, you can learn post that sour fruit is not considered to be a davar charev. She writes the davar she'ein, which is not charev, only will cause stuff to come out by a lot of pressure. No, it's not right. He says that if something's not charev, it doesn't. Then the pressure itself doesn't release anything. It doesn't even release a mashu. Okay, the brackets Arukh HaShulchan says here. He forbids to use these to use this boaster before paying for Pesach. Permissive Pesach is more have a double time, but the minutes on Pesach, astonishing. The task when you give near Shaloi Kosul for Pesach, I feel that Pesach in Osir I jump. As definitely did not have a version said that even within Pesach it's okay. Can Igladino that it's not okay to use this boaster and stick a keli on Pesach itself. Lavav. If you have unripe fruit which you cut with a chametz stick, a knife, the Pesach on Pesach also the stam sakin and we assume a generic knife is not wiped. And you have to assume that there's chametz adhering to it. If this boaster then got mixed into a cooked dish, you don't answer it me suffix. Which says even if there's less than 60. So the boaster and a carp, I guess, but yeah, we go comparing that the unripe food is not carp. I forgot that comparing mashu miu ika. I describing mashu. It came in the makunach since it's not cleaned. That's about a grease. There's grease on a knife. Even to clean it up, there's usually grease on it. Chametz ain't need back, but chametz doesn't adhere. And in terms vis-a-vis the issue of mixtures, it's considered as if it is wiped. It's not clear. Certainly should be a mashu. This is Magen Avram's inquiry. We see. They also breaded here is to a knife. Both Rabbi and Tov seen the both Rabbi of a charev. Says that many people hold Basar is a charev. Even was cut before Pesach, still knocking with a clean knife. The tzarech ear, I'm not sure why should we make it. The current Pesach is saki knocking, but if it's before Pesach with a clean knife, yesh lach going to be leaning from Sabbath Yogalim like we wrote previous sif. Achtorah Pesach, but in Pesach and like a cloud, if he task should not be making all according to the opinion of the great Acharonim. The Mishnah Berurah writes that when the knife was rinsed, you don't have to be machmir to asa the mixture. If it wasn't rinsed, then Achronim have a machlekes. You can make up have some ruba or for the tzorach of simchas yontif. And with knives which you cut bread knives, well, there we know that particles come and stick to it. And therefore, even in tarovis, it's usher. If you cut something, that is also even tarovis, unless you clean the knife previously, so you're cutting now. Lamed Zayin, with varm shabalim, things which are definitely not charev. Shenechtuchu b'sakin shechametz in Pesach, which you cut with a chametz stick knife on Pesach, v'enem kunach, which was not wiped. I feel ben yom, even son the day was used for chametz. With the ochel Pesach, you can eat that item on chametz. And they should by rinsing it very well. The place where the cut was made. Also scratch off a little bit of the surface in the place where the cut was made. Mishnah says you can either do greda, scratching, or hadacha, rinsing that place where the knife hit. If the knife was clean, it's mutter even without rinsing. I guess he also has a rinsing because he says without rinsing must be the rinsing does something. If I forgot, you could do this, There's a pressure knife, which normally causes things to get absorbed. Nevertheless, if it's was a dry substance, um, which is, I guess, whatever comments adhere to it, it doesn't, the skin, it doesn't make it come out. Have a lax, that's what you cut was a little moist. You require rinsing. The thing is sharp, commode snow, like radish, and batzol, and onion, the tamcha, and horseradish, etc. Even if it was cut before Pesach. I feel Eino Ben Yomo, even if it's not the same day. I feel even if it's wiped. The Charif is Dukal Sakina Badi Mafli. If you have sharpness plus the pressure of the knife, it definitely brings out flavor. That's from the Baltania. The Kamagam Yesh Laka B'Shas Atchak. That's going to be in a pinch. Because Chokah basically cut before Pesach, which goes on replaced like we wrote by unripe fruit. Mishum the Kapanim Luave Rak Mashu. This is final analysis to Soli Mashu. Kfaris Bata Wheels Bata. Because before Pesach, Pesach has more, and Pesach itself, it was always going to be forbidden. Mishua writes, the whole issue here is with a slime with a knife, which you occasionally use to cut hot substances, and as absorb chametz. So you don't use it all with hot substances, such as a onion which you cut with a knife with which you normally shape dough or scrape dough, from a mixing bowl, and was clean. The onion is permitted, even if you cut the onion on Pesach. Mishabur also writes the davar charif, and also the unripe fruit. According to those, it is a davar charif. Even if the knife was definitely clean, and you cut before Pesach, then it's still also teen on Pesach, which seems to it seems to be the same as Arukh HaShulchan. No, Arukh HaShulchan says if you cut it on before Pesach, it's okay. And the Mishnah says, the Shbur says, with Davar Charif, if cut before Pesach, it's not okay. So this is my look. Arukh HaShulchan says it's okay. The Shbur says it's not okay when it's cut before Pesach. Lamed Ches. Because they were Besakin Shabbai is also about a household knife. Beso. Balabas's house, or Balabas's knife, in his or her house. Pesach, or when you cut it with it on Pesach, you are cry ba'ama. Just it's kind of like a happenstance. Avodah b'shachar b'sakin shel chametz b'kfius, but something which is cut with a chametz knife consistently. B'yad any yehudi chenvani. And as a non-Jew who keeps the store, could go to chatichos dogim, like a piece of fish, going oxen, locks, smoked salmon. It's a knife to cut it, right? Osharmi Adosh Mokri Pesach B'Sol Konim Em, the types of fish which there's some Pesach the Jews buy, going to Enam Meluchim, when they're not salted. Muchim Vali also knows when Pesach B'nei Melch, salted you can't buy them anyway. Pesach, we said it's not to buy herring on the Pesach because it's salt. And I feel Enam Meluchim, but even they're not salty. If the storekeeper cuts it with his knife, Shekot Devogan Pas and use that knife not just for locks, but also for the bread. You have to be making that eat it even by rinsing. The cutting took place before Pesach. And as long as you just rinse it. And for states, if it's a designated lox knife, then it's never comes in the context of chametz, then it's okay. Even you use the knife to cut on Pesach. Lamates. Kasser Rabbeinu Beis Yosef Simchez Zeisim Shishol Chodcha B'Sakin Chadasha. If owls that you careful to cut with a new knife, I feel lonely to the cup Shemikter Chadasha. You weren't careful to soak them in a new pot. Im ena bas yoma, if it's not the same days, it wasn't used previously that day for the powers used previously. It's okay. Utesk everything is okay. Kashal. Amar the Zaysim. Vadai davar charif. Olives are definitely a davar charif. Mishmur says this is only, it's not only davar charif if they are cut before they were put into soak, because then they still have their sharpness, or even after they were soaked and they became fermented. And then also it's called davar charif. As opposed to when they're cut after putting them in water before they were fully pressed, then it's not called davar charif because the water negates its charifus. Back to if you cut the olives with an old knife, I feel anybody yomo, even if it was not used for hours. Ocean forbids. I feel never going to pass, even they were cut before Pesach. I got close sakin. I even every olive there's 60 corresponding to whatever minuscule amount of the knife came to contact with it. It's about what night these battles going to Pesach was no probably before Pesach. Come up with something like onions which are like onions which are cut with a knife of a prohibited substance. We are there seems like look down, it's not crumpled. There the onions got cooked in a sauce. These baba tam and the taste got mixed up throughout the mixture. And the whole mixture, the 60 corresponding to the knife. Here each small olive stands on its own. Each one absorbs a little bit from the knife. Each one doesn't have 60 corresponding to what the knife absorbed. Therefore, combine the olives to make the reckoning does not work. The Tasman problem. Therefore, it's also not unripe fruit. The Mishamducha in the press, where the pressing with the pestle mixes everything together. If after you cut them, you soak them in water, cut on Pesach, before Pesach, it's mutter. Because the water absorbs amounts from this one to that one, and they become like one. There's water there, supposed to olives, so you can't be mitzaref the olives, because there's no water to be mitzaref them. No. Okay. Mem. We use a new knife. But you just soak them in a chametz like bakun and Pesach. Before Pesach, in the egg there, Bas Yoma, and the pot was not used in the last 5 hours, muteres, then the olives are mutter. The Allah says, you can even rely if the knife is ben yomo. It's a big kiddush. It doesn't make a difference. The cocoa never came to mime since it was soaking water on mime about the mecharifus. The water negates the sharpness. I have a nice time of gam, and therefore it's nice time of gam going to be going Pesach before Pesach begins. And we'll minute. Pesach is also, but Pesach even this time. The gam is also just like Mashu Chametz is also. Lachas says Shas of Chak Milan. And this he says it. We said it right. Sorry. The Daishon the Zesh Gam see because him now we shall previously the Makash Chorkan Pesakin Kadosh if after you cut them with a new knife. I'm sorry. Nakash Chorkan with chametz. After you cut with chametz knife, Kav Shemayim you soak the water cut Pesach for Pesach the Mutarin. They're minute yesh Chokazeh. Those argues really they hold Rakim Bishlam Mutarim. If you cook it, becomes Mutar. Because the cooking diffuses the taste and everything which is there. Not just soaking. Yeshua shows that those who forbid are feeling in bashlon, even if you cook them together. Like my mutar, only the water is mutar. Ben beklisha ben bisha, whether you soaked or whether you cooked. The mamayim baden is baba platus but which because in the water, definitely the different things which come out of the side of the vessel can mix together. They're not independent here or there, and therefore it's bottle shishim. Yeshokim story shona, you can be lenient. The gamma kvishu chumra yiser, because soaking itself is a big chumra. The lama loyal lichatam, bizel section kvishumayim. Why do we say if they're soaked, it's no good? Why isn't soaking make the taste spread? Ashkem word the Torah and Shem, that's what the Torah says. But Diana lachmir kvisha, but we have to machmir. You machmir by soaking, but not by cooking. Mishnah says there has to be more water than olives, because otherwise olives will remain sharp. Shabbos says if you the brown where there's no water, because you somehow drain off the water. Okay. Sharatzion says that some are machmir even when the dates are cooked, and but in a place where someone's yontav will not be available, you make if you know that the knife was clean, and even if the knife was ben yo.